At the start of the 2019 school year, students from the Country Day School in Madison, 8th graders, with their teacher, worked with Dennis Culliton of the WitnessStonesProject to research primary and secondary documents and discover what they could about an enslaved woman named Lettuce Bailey. She was enslaved and later emancipated by the minister of the Congregational Church in Madison. On August 1st, they gathered to install a stone in her honor and memory and to share a bit of what they learned of her story. Here are some words from Dennis about her life.
On the drive here today, I noticed the signs along the way in both Guilford and Madison that said Black Lives Matter. And it came to me that what we're doing today is to say Black lives have always mattered. And why do we have to say that? We have to say that because under slavery, as we saw with Lettuce and others, the dehumanization that occurred, the 3/5 of a person that was in our Constitution, the idea that we can buy and sell people and list them as a piece of property on our inventories, our wills, and it made our country and even here believe that people of African descent were less than us, less than even the immigrants that came later, and less than everyone else. And so what we're trying to say is that Lettuce was a person, and she was a human, and she had her children and her love, and I was so uplifted by the students who looked at Lettuce as her first role in life was that of a mother, and that was most important because they looked at their own mothers and said how important that role was. And they humanized her in a way that I couldn't, as a history person looking at the documents, really think about. But the idea that Lettuce's life matters is so important, and the idea that we in the North, we in Guilford and Madison, have to look at our history and our hearts and our privilege and realize what we have to do to make change. We can't point south anymore and say they're the ones that made the mistake and that made the change. With many of my talks in Guilford, I've said, these big houses you see along the green aren't there because people sold hay to each other. In Madison, we're very excited and impressed about our history, where we took our ships and went down to the West Indies and sold our stuff. Peas and barrel staves and beef on the hoof and beef in the barrel and horses to the West Indies, to the slaveholders there, to gain wealth here and to bring back sugar and molasses and other things. We know that that's our history. We know that during COVID we live in a place with open space and space between our houses, and that's all part of our history. But this project brings it back home to us to say that Black lives matter. Lettuce's life, Lettuce Bailey's life mattered, and we need to use that to move forward, to believe that we can make the changes in our society to have a more perfect union, or more equality and justice that we've had. So thank you again for inviting me here today.